Hi everybody, this is Cheryl
And Angel.
and this is our Tipsy Tuesday. Now this week we are going to talk about zipper storage bags, and I actually have so many tips for zipper storage bags that it's going to be a 2-week thing. But hey, they're so handy. Okay, so let's start on this one. First one is to marinate your meat in a zipper storage bag. For like if you're going to marinate meat for a barbecue or for, baking in your oven. When you put it in a bag, not only does the marinade get all over the meat, but you can flip it. It's much easier to flip the bag over than try to turn all the meat over in a bowl or something like that. Much easier. You can shake it up, you can squish it around, you can do whatever you need to get that marinade into that meat good. Something that we do a lot of is we store our leftovers in zipper bags. Now, you can just put your leftovers in a zipper bag and stick it in the fridge, but there's something else that we do too that's really super handy. If you take your leftovers, or if you cook a double meal, you can take and make individual packets of your leftovers, freeze them, and then you can use them for your lunch, or if somebody's, like if Brandon's home alone and he's wanting something to eat, he can grab one out and heat it up and he's got a meal. You can also do this with a full-size meal. Like if you make a double meal, you can take half of it, freeze it, and then later on, if you need a quick meal, all you have to do is take it out, thaw it out, heat it up, and you're done. So you can do that with just about anything. So leftovers are good for freezing leftovers. Okay, so the next one is using a zipper bag and a rolling pin, or in some cases a meat mallet, but to crush graham crackers, breadcrumbs, peppercorns, whole spices, anything that needs to be crushed. You can put them in a bag and roll over it with a rolling pin, or hit them with a meat mallet, and it'll crush them. Now, the key to this is you want to leave one corner of your bag not fully zipped up, just enough to let some air in. If you have a cushion in there, you're not going to get a good crush on it, but if you have it too tight, it's going to pop your bag. So leaving that little corner, a little bit of air escaping from that corner, will keep your bag flexible enough that you can crush that kind of stuff. The other one is using putting like a sandwich bag over your hand when you grease pans, for like if you're baking a cake or something like that, and you can use it to grease your pan and you won't get the grease all over your hand. Now, this is a really fun one. You can use a zipper bag to fill foods with, like deviled eggs or stuffed mushrooms. You can also melt chocolate. All you have to do is put like your chocolate chips in a zipper bag, put it in some warm water. You don't want boiling water, you want warm water. Allow the chocolate to melt. And then you can use it to squirt out. You can also use frosting and whipped topping. Now, we're going to show you here, we've got some eggs that we boiled. And basically, for the stuffing for like mushrooms or deviled eggs, we simply put the egg yolks. This looks pretty nasty, but it has the egg yolks, it has mayonnaise, mustard, pickle relish, salt and pepper in it. You just put it all in your bag and then you squish it up, okay? And you get it squished up. Now, you don't want too much air in this, because if you have too much air, then you won't be able to squish it. But you don't want it flat either. But you just squish it up. It's still too much air. Okay, so get it all squished up really good. And I'm going to let, oh, it's coming up top. I'm going to let Angel finish squishing that up. It's squishing out. And I'm going to go ahead and read you that. And then we're going to show you how we fill our eggs. Okay, so along with in keeping with the kitchen, you can put if you have your recipe book open, you can actually get 2-gallon size bags, zipper bags. And if you have a small cookbook, you can slide your cookbook to the open page, where your recipe is, and you can seal it up, and that'll keep your recipe book clean. Now, we also do this with recipe cards, or if we have a recipe that we've wrote out, we just slip it into the zipper bag, close it up, and you can actually attach it to your refrigerator, with a magnet, so that your recipe is handy. Or you can just lay it on the table. It's not going to get dirty. It's not going to get all messed up. Now, I also use these for my craft patterns. When I'm working on a crochet pattern or Angel's knitting or, anything like that, you can slip your pattern into that bag, and, it stays nice and clean. And if you take your work on the go, your sewing or your cross stitch or whatever it is you're doing, you can take your pattern and you don't have to take a big book. You can just take the one little page or whatever. I do that quite a lot. You can blow up a zipper bag, zip it up to almost closed, and then blow in it, zip it up to where it's like a bubble, puffed up. And you can use that as a pillow. Like if you're, you soak in the tub and you have a pillow on the back of your neck and you're laying back in the tub, it's perfect for that. Now, if you can also fill it with something, if you're out camping, fill it with leaves or, something that's not going to puncture the bag, but, grasses or whatever, fill it up with that, and you have a pillow while you're out camping, and you don't have to worry about taking anything but this zipper bag. Comes in very handy. Now, a good way to pack up your diaper bag for you people that have babies, take the snack or the sandwich size bags, and you just put whatever you need for your baby in the snack or the sandwich size zipper bags, like cotton balls, extra pacifiers, medications, small toys, anything that you would need for your baby. Then you take all these little bags and put it in a gallon size zipper bag, zip it up and put it in your diaper bag. It's ready to go. Then when you get home, if you need to restock, you can see what's in there that you need to restock, You can also slip your little packet of baby wipes in there or baby powder or whatever you need, So it keeps your diaper bag a little more organized. Now, in the wintertime, you have the wet, snowy, rainy winter, and you've got outdoor locks, like on your shed or your gate or, whatever. A good way to keep your locks dry is to take now you can use other bags too, but you can take a zipper bag and put it over the lock, and you can zip it closed. You won't zip all the way closed, but you can zip it fairly closed. Or you can use any kind of bag that's good and sturdy, put it over the lock and put a rubber band around it, or tie it or whatever. That will keep your lock dry. So even if it freezes, the lock's not going to freeze because it doesn't get wet. But when the lock gets wet, gets watered down inside of it and it freezes, your lock is frozen, and that's a good way to keep your lock from freezing. Okay, how are we doing over here?
I think I got it. I don't know if it's perfect, but you know what?
Yeah, you just mix it up. It looks pretty good. It's a little bit lumpy, but,
I think that's from the pickle relish, though.
Yeah, but you take and you do this with your stuffed mushrooms, with your chocolate, anything. And then you just cut the tip off of it. You don't want to cut a big chunk off, just a small amount. there we go. And then, let's see if I can do this. You just take this and you squeeze it out and you fill your egg with it. Just like that. That looks good. And, you know, it makes it so much easier. And all you've dirtied up is a bag that you're going to throw in the trash. So, you know, just kind of fill your egg up with it. Just like that. We got some excitement from the pets. But, yeah, it makes it much easier. And if you cut your hole small enough, you can actually, sorry, we got, hey, you two stop. You can take and, oh, it tastes good. All right, stop. Sorry. You can take and make that hole small enough, you can actually write on your cake, you know, with that. So, makes it a lot easier for, you know, decorating. And like I said, you can use this for what topping, for any kind of filling, for like mushrooms or anything like that. All right, so that's our Tipsy Tuesday for this week. You all have a good day, and we'll see you next week. Bye.